Thank you. First, for all the who've been watching throughout the day or all day or whatever part of the day. Thank you. It's been a very long day. Again, 15 hours of flair, flair, flair. But as promised, we will go through all the finalists, and we will go to them at the order which they were on stage. So first, I think it was Eugene Sokoloff, and Tom, you would like to start, I think.
Why not? Well, for each person on stage, I've written a couple of notes, good and, say, bad, or room for improvement, or things I've noticed. So I'll try and read through my notes a little bit here. A couple of things about Eugene that I've noticed, not just today, but in previous competitions. There's a lot of, he does a lot of turns. Like, there you go, there's one.
Yeah.
A lot of turning, and I noticed it from other people as well, a lot of turning around on the spot, essentially for no reason. I'd like to see more of the connections of your moves without the turns. I did see the hand a few times. You know, the hand when you're just kind of helping the bottle or the tin into the shaker.
Or the head.
Or the head, like we saw, which was a great save as well.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's got some sick moves, some really, really cool, big moves. He's a big move kind of guy. He takes it slow, takes it steady. I like that. I like to see that on stage. I would like to see some of those bits sort of thought about, the turning around for no reason, the hand. And there was a little bit of the sort of, when he comes up to a move, there's a lot of sort of wave and a step and then a throw and then, he builds up the move a lot. So if he drops it, it's a big, you notice it a lot. Do you know what I mean? And then the only other criticism I can say for this routine was there was a drum and bass sequence which you used, Eugene, which I thought you could have used a better piece of music for that sequence because you have this kind of slow, steady kind of style. Something to go with that would have been really good. So to work on just building that flow, linking the moves together a little bit more because your 4 tin bottle sequence was just 3 moves with nothing in between, and I think you only landed one of them if I'm not mistaken. But like I said, some massive moves, some great connections in there when you do them. Some good stuff at the bar, work with the music really well. Keep doing what you're doing, and I think we'll see some great improvements.
Indeed.
Yeah. If I go first, before you.
Go for it.
If you mind. Yeah, for me, Edgar, he's very positive.
Eugene.
Oh, sorry, Eugene. Eugene is very positive, and it seems he loves to be on stage. But like Tom said that he has a lot of like moves that really don't do so much. He uses a lot of air, but today, few big moves went bad because of the drops, and his 7-minute routines, began to be like a little bit of too much of the same moves or same kind of catches or same kind of endings, but a very entertaining to watch, but could have built a little bit more variety to his the whole routine. But yeah, 7 minutes, long time. Happy to see him on the final, and he has been doing well for the few years now, and I'm sure he's going to be a tough bone someday.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I can only say.
Agree.
What more to say? Exactly.
But if there's nothing to add, Manuel, you can start with Edgar.
Well, Edgar, I think we all are happy with him. I mean, I'm happy. What my notes saying, like he nailed basically all his signature moves. He improved a lot, to be honest. It's really nice to watch. It's not too fast. It's not too stressed. Let's put it that way. For a not judging audience, it's really nice to watch, which is cool in my opinion. Considering that you bring still a nice difficulty and a nice variety, and people still are able to understand even if you throw, I don't know, 14 two bottles. people understand it, and that is something I really like. Yeah. He was one of those maybe not doing so many drops today, which also was a really good point. Yeah. I really like to see him, because sometimes he putting out sequences where you don't expect the ending. So it's like it starts slow, but then somehow he's making 2 moves and everything is behind his back. And this is something unexpected and nothing easy to understand, but still good to understand. So in my opinion, he did a really good job today, and I think he's there now as well. So he's not
Big statement.
sometimes in the final. He's, in my opinion, also always a kind of a potential candidate for a final. Obviously, always if the qualification goes well. So,
Yeah. Tom, what do you have in mind for Edgar?
Lot.
Edgar. A lot.
Couple of things, Edgar. Let's start with your work or your routine at the bar. Learn to bartend. I would love to see you using the objects, pouring correctly, looking like a true professional bartender, because, I mean, you bust out some massive moves. Massive moves. And that's, from what I've seen, all you seem to focus on, which is fine. I think Eugene is a little bit the same. Move machines, I call you. But I'm going to read a sentence that I wrote after your routine. Presentation is the key to doing, to getting the points that you deserve. I'll read it again. You were doing some seriously sick moves, but you weren't getting the response that you should have, all the scores in that matter, because you're not presenting them correctly. You could win a big-ass move competition all day long, but you need to learn how to pick better music and go with that music. You could earn so many more points if you learn how to present your flair better, because you were pulling off some super sick moves, and you have improved, as Manuel said. But I think you're trying to do so many of those moves that you're not focusing on the actual presentation of those moves. Where if you look at Slava, which we'll get to in a minute, presents his moves super well. Some good stuff I want to say. Your 3-bottle roll is awesome. Absolutely loved it. I'd love to see you try and do 6 rolls if that's possible. I'm sure you can. The 4-bottle move shortly after that with the roll at the end is Gianluigi Bosco. Learn about your flair education. And the 5-bottle move is every South American that's ever lived. You've got the creativity to come up with something better, so do so. Bit more variety with your flair. I say that tentatively. What I mean by that is there's a lot of nesting, okay? But still, you do a lot of variety of big moves. And then finally, better music interaction. Was better music this time, definitely much better show. I really did enjoy watching it. Just like I said, if you can present yourself better, you're going to score a hell of a lot better. So learn to bartend, present yourself better, get some better music, and I think we'll see a great improvement.
and keep on doing rolls.
And keep on doing rolls.
But not too much. Yeah,
But not too much. But
yeah,
keep doing them.
Edgar for me, sick combos, very sick, very big moves. But Tom was quite right that you must remember to present those better, and remember that there's audience. You are, entertaining. But other than that, I think you improved a lot for the last few years, and keep up the good work. You've been doing well on many style of competitions, and going to final here, very tough level today, and it's a great job to enter the final. Everybody can be happy who made it to the final today.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Then guy number 3, Eric Yui Kui from Taiwan. I think was a surprise for many of those. Which one of you would like to start? Because I know there's some superlatives coming up pretty soon.
I'll kick off
Tom
with
can
Eric.
kick off.
I was saying to Tomek and Marek earlier, Tomek and Andy earlier. Just comes off the tongue automatically. Eric, a couple of statements I want to say about Eric. Eric, the humility and the humbleness that he has is infectious. And I want to say, Eric, stay humble, stay humble, stay humble. You make me want to flare. You make me want to go to the practice room and get better. You bring emotion to the stage. You bring happiness to the stage. And that's because you are happy and so humble with what you're doing. And that's what we want more of in Flair. We have more people like you on stage, loving it. And you just have to see at the end of your routines every single time, here, Roadhouse, and wherever else I've seen you flare, people clap and cheer and hug you because they just are so happy for what you've done. Couple of points of improvement. You say you practice 2 hours a day, practice a little bit more, and you'll just get incredible. Not that you aren't incredible already, but you'll just get incredible. 2 hours a day is nothing. You also work on some of your stuff at the bar, you know, some of your bartending skill and things like this. I mean, you know how to put together a routine. You know how to sell your flair really well. You use music which suits you, but work on your bartending stuff. So I said, stay humble. And finally, just to say, you have a very bright future in the flair bartending competitions ahead of you. Keep that passion. Keep that drive, and like I said, stay humble. And just
how old is he?
Awesome.
21, 20,
like 12
22.
or something. 21 or something like this. But super awesome. Yeah, I mean, rooms of improvement, stuff at the bar, perhaps a bit more variety, perhaps, you know, more details in some of your moves. But I think your show and everything was amazing. Well done.
Yeah, indeed.
Manu.
Yeah, I mean, he is also a big move man. Yeah, so I mean, like the 5-team 1 bottle, it didn't enter immediately, but we all knew he can get it, and he proved us right that he got it. Also, this multiple objects is hilarious, like 3-tin 2 bottles or 3 bottle 1 tin. It is looking like someone is drawing it, and there it is. I mean, to see a guy like this, like Tom said, fingers are itching. You want to practice with that guy, you know, like to challenge each other maybe. And the only thing I saw, to be honest, but there is still a long time to improve that, is maybe to change a little bit the openings. Yeah, there's a lot of shadow passes, and there's a lot of helicopters. Yeah, so you see that technically he is there, and so I would love to see maybe different openings or different helicopters. Yeah, because seeing the helicopters with 2 tins together is something incredible. But if it's repeating in a 3-tin 1 bottle routine or something like that, it is kind of repeating. But the skills he has is easy to maybe for him to change a little bit, and then overall it's even more round and good to watch. But in my opinion, he could have had like 20 drops today, and still the crowd was going off, you know.
Yeah.
So even if we don't count the drops anymore, but these few drops he had, nobody was like, oh, go off stage now. So they were more like, show us that you can do it, because we know you can do it.
I love that at the end when he did the move 3 times as well. You don't see that often, so it's great.
Yeah,
love it.
But he has the confidence to do it. Yeah. Maybe one other said like, okay, this was drop enough. Let's keep it safe.
He's like, no. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Carry on.
All good.
All good. Yeah, the energy was unbelievable. He's just glowing on stage. So you have to wonder if he starts training more. If that's 2 hours per day, what it's like 4 to 6 hours per day. What happens after that? For me, it was like watching a video, a Nintendo game or something like that. It was amazing. Some really sick catches and grips, and you know, very difficult things. It's hard to imagine he's so young. But yeah, the bartending is not there yet, but the technical level and you know the smile and small. The important things are there already, but there's a lot of room, of course, for improvement. But I think we were happy to see him on the final today, and actually I was hoping that he would be on the final and on the big ass move, because It was, and after his final routine, I said to Tom that this is what we need in this sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a win-win situation for us, right?
It was a win-win. It was a win-win situation for us.
Completely.
Next up is Juanjo. I can continue.
Carry on.
What's his name?
Juanjo.
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 It's in Finnish, Juanjo.
You.
And today I decide what's it called. Yeah, for me, Juanjo always very calm and collected on stage. But today, I just think that he like ran out of power during about 4 or 5 minutes during his routine, and it wasn't as good as I've seen him into some competitions. But of course, again, final in Flair Mania, not bad. You can be proud, and I think you should consider to entering Dancing with Stars someday. But anyway, keep up the good work, and hope to see you in the next competition.
Yeah.
Manu?
It was good to see him back, first
Yeah.
of all, because we were missing Prince Charming, to be honest. So that's my point of view. I mean, what should I say? It's really nice to see his style, to be honest, like the rolls and also this different kind of pours. I was a bit scared if after this long time missing from the competition, he was maybe having the program and the power for a 7-minute final with this powerful crowd and the live stream and everything. I mean, we have to consider that there is a little bit of pressure here, instant scoring and so on. What I was surprised, like Timpa said, maybe he ran out of power. In my opinion, after a certain time, I think so, like 5:36 minutes, he ran out of moves. And the very last move, I was like 3 bottles, 2 tins, or 3 tins, 2 bottles, I don't remember. And he nailed it, and he
3 bottles, 2 tins.
Yeah, he nailed it, and I saw in his expression, damn, I hadn't this move ready, but I landed it. So job is done, happy days, you know. So and also this proves that he's valid to be in a final, because just out of nowhere, doing a move like this, it's awesome. Yeah, but I would love to see him more often in a final, and I think he has the potential. He just needs, in my opinion, to show himself a little bit more often on a competition stage. But I think after this final, he got some more motivation, right?
Motivation.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's great, as Manu said, great to see you back onto the stage. Great to see you landing moves that I saw you practicing quite a while back, over a year or so ago. It's nice to see you nailing those. It's great to see you nailing your sequences. You know, you put a lot of detail into some of your sequences. For example, the 2 tin and liquid little sequence I really liked. You know, it kind of just kept on going, which is really awesome. Keep doing stuff like that. Your music interaction is getting much better. Your 3 tin bottle was really nice. What else did I say here? As Manu said, the 3 bottle, 2 tin, awesome. And you had some other sequences, I think, with 3 tin, 2 bottle, which you didn't quite land, but we saw this is the step up you've been needing. And I think if you continue going in that direction, you'll see yourself start going up the ranks. Don't feel disheartened about today. You did a really good job. Wasn't sure, I can't remember what your cocktail was like, but overall, great routine, great flair. Criticisms could be, don't give up on stage, you know, keep that energy high, keep that movement going. Look at the crowd more as we're doing today. And there is a couple of moves in the routine which I would say take out. Some of your finger rolls perhaps could be likened to somebody else, perhaps. But we've talked about this in the past. Anyway, I think keep doing what you're doing and you'll see yourself grow leaps and bounds. Good job.
Okay, Tom might want to continue from Slava.
Slava, I put 2 sentences when I watch a routine. Speak easy, extreme lounge flair, or sexy flair music. You definitely have a different style of presentation when you come onto the stage, but I was talking about presentation with Edgar, and it's something which you do very well. You present your flair very, very well. You really show people what's going on. It's not too fast, it's not too slow, and you know how to sell your moves very, very well. And this is a big, important trait, an important gift to have on stage. You don't have the most difficult flair, but the difficulty wasn't a huge factor of today's competition. I would like to see perhaps some of your moves. I don't want to say start differently, but some of the moves can look quite similar. But again, that's part of your style. But maybe change it up a little bit. The new 4 bottles was pretty good. The 3 tin 2 bottle sequence was also good. Your craft flair and your bar work at the bar is very good. You can see that, you know, I'm not sure if you're a bartender. I think you are. And you can see that you do very well at the bar. What I was going to say, sometimes there's a little bit of the old waving around before you do a move. But, you know, it's part of your show, it's part of your presentation. I think always what lets you down is perhaps the energy. I mean, in the past, we've seen you with a bit more energy. So perhaps slightly more energy, you know, take people up and down on a roller coaster ride throughout your routine. And I would like to see new music. That would be criticism number 1. New music, new style of presenting your flair, because you can present it really well already. Change it up, mix it up, show people you can do something else, and I think you'll be rewarded accordingly for doing that. Finally, you take your time to make your drink, and you know exactly where you are in your routine, which is a great gift to have on the stage, and a lot of people can learn from that from you.
Indeed.
Yeah, music. I was complaining about the music during the routine, but the point is that Slava uses his music really well, and he performs to the audience, and he has his own style, which is not that difficult, but on a good day it looks very good, and yeah, always performs to the audience. They takes the things in front of them and enjoys being on stage. And like Tom said, I like that he works very well behind the bar. He's a bartender, takes time, prepares the drink, has very good craft, and uses his tool really well.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, a constant finalist. So for me, there's nothing more to say today.
Yeah. I mean,
Good.
I can only, I think, repeat myself from last year. I think I said that I see Slava and OlyBet, for example, as complete bartenders, and also for the stage, you know. So I think Slava could put this show on a wedding like OlyBet is doing, yeah, but at the same time he's also performing on a Grand Slam and still earning points, so there is no 2 shows and stuff. What I saw, for example, and I pointed it out last year, was this swinging before doing the move. The last years was pretty often, basically before every move. He reduced that, which is really nice. I can also agree with Tom. Maybe new music, yeah, because we all know it now. But overall, overall, seeing is a really nice and round routine, where also for a normal audience, not only for the judges, all the material, all the bartending equipment is used in a proper way, and you see really that I would go to his bar and drink and let me make a drink, because I know that he's capable to entertain, make good drinks, and present the drink and himself really good. So like you said, constant finalist, keep going.
Next up, the American Wonder, or should I say Argentinian American Wonder, Rodo. First, again, it's good to see you in Europe again. Welcome back to Flair Mania.
And in good shape.
Yeah, in good shape. I'm impressed that what you've done to yourself for the last year, and you should be
This move was
very proud.
insane.
But concerning the Flair, classic Delpe, using music really well, of course. There's some parts of the routine that it didn't match, like you wait that Rodrigo will match, but what's there to say? A legend, classic smile, and very entertaining.
Yeah.
And good to see him here.
Yeah.
Very happy to see him here on this competition and on the final.
I'll quickly jump in, Nick, because you say that a legend. I don't know if you noticed, but his first music was singing "Legends Never Die."
Exactly, yeah.
Brilliant, he's sneaky.
You got the hint. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I actually, that was my second note that I wrote on your on for you, Rodrigo. The first one was, I don't need to tell you what to do. You know, you've been doing this for longer than me and anybody here, and the fact that you're still competing and getting up there on stage in the finals is fantastic. And I say hats off to you. I mean, if you
Big
want
time.
any criticism from myself,
Big time.
I mean, you have this sort of lackadaisical way of flaring some ways. That's in, for those who don't, perhaps say it another way, I don't want to say lazy way, because it's not lazy, but you have this really relaxed way of flaring, which I think you make your moves look way too easy. But some of them are really, really tough.
yeah.
You know, you really do make it look like, oh, okay, is that it? But it's really, really hard, some of the stuff that you're doing. I would have loved to seen you really rock it like Rodrigo used to in the past. But I think you still busted out some super sick stuff, perhaps a couple of mistakes here along the way. Maybe slightly better music. Could have been a good one. I loved it when you use Latino music. I'm not sure if you'd go down that road again, but it really does work and suits you a lot. I was really looking forward to a long 3-bottle, badass, sick juggling sequence onto 4. Your 4 was still awesome. I'd love to see that. New three bottles from Rodrigo would be awesome. And 6.
Yes.
6. He heard me shout on the stage.
Yeah,
But I was like,
we missed that one.
But, I mean, what can I say? You know what you're doing. You've won world championships more than anybody else, pretty much. So, I mean, you can tell us all to F off if you want to. But congratulations, mate.
Indeed. I mean,
TOF.
I have nothing to add. I just make one note, a recovery king. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
whenever something goes wrong, Rodrigo will catch it and make it look good. Yeah. So, but this makes the experience and everything. And my personal note would be like, in my opinion, same routine, more powerful music. Because I saw the crowd after minute 4. They were like, okay, is there coming up something more? Yeah, maybe like Tom said, sometimes he makes the moves look so easy that, yeah, it is how it is, yeah. But I think if he would put a little bit more powerful music, or maybe instead of 2 tracks, switching to 3 or 4 different tracks for different routines, that would be, I think, cool. But who am I to say Rodrigo Delpes what he has to do? So thanks for being here, Odo, and we love you.
And yeah, and probably it can be that he's in his fitness zone now, so he's
Exactly.
like warming up today.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good to see him back. Next up, the Sergei Bulaktin.
Who?
The crazy Russian.
Crazy Russian. He's like watching a Matrix movie.
Yeah.
And today, every time he brings something new to the stage,
Awesome.
of course his moves are, very creative, but he also puts a lot of effort to his music and show, and the extra stuff with the ice balls and radios and.
Yeah.
There's so much crap on the table that you don't know what he's using and when, but yeah, it's just a fluent, performance.
Awesome.
Things are flying and beeping and smoking. That's awesome. I think that's the most entertaining style of Flair bartending to do, and plus he has the moves. He has the. He works really well with his music, and he's very, high speed. But yeah, for me, I've been a fan of this guy very long time, and And, but for me, it's like watching a Matrix movie because you never know what's gonna happen next and what will fly where and what will smoke and what will burn and what will fly. So
just the
awesome.
rabbit out of a hat was
Yeah.
missing today, right?
But yeah, that's I love the guy. But yeah, what do you think, Manu?
I think the same like you. And what I really admire from this guy is he has everything under control. I realized it today in the middle of the routine. He was grabbing 2 more tins, and it was 1 tin who was wet because he poured before. He doesn't care. He just go because he know he can do it. Like you see the recovery with the kick, with the turn. He started with without the bracelets, but he still went on. And whilst he was throwing, he took off 1 bracelet and he was rolling, and then he took the other one. We all know that was not part of his routine, but he's keep on going because he know he can do it. He has the control. He has the self-confidence, and I would not be surprised if one day instead of doing drinks, he's gonna open a stand-up comedy or something like.
Or circus.
Circus. Yeah, because I think he's the born entertainer. So and he's competing for quite a long, and he's still competing and smashing and nailing it. So the only thing I was missing today was this 14-2 bottle. We were all waiting because he won the biggest move with that last year, and there was time to do it one more time. So that's the only criticism from my side. Otherwise,
I would say, I mean, I'd kind of second everything that the guys have said. Going back to presentation of your flair and of your moves, your presentation is second to none. A lot of people should watch you and learn from you on how to show their flair in the best possible light. I'd love to see some upgrades on some of your signature moves that you use and that you do. Whatever those upgrades will be, I'd love to see it, love to see change. You do bring different stuff, so some upgrades on those will be awesome. You're very infectious, which means people want to be around you, they want to be near you, they want to be involved in your show, they feel involved in your show, they feel like they are a part of what you're doing on stage, and that's fantastic. Keep doing that. I was going to say work on the details a little bit more, but your details are great in your show. Perhaps the details on the flair could be a little bit. I would say this, change your music from the qualifiers to the final. That's a big one. It's great to see, for example, Stiva or Dennis, you know, they don't always change, but most of the time I think nowadays they do. And I'd love to see that, you know, change your music from quality to final, and I think you'll see a great improvement. But last thing I said, you have your show down to a T. Work on some of those upgrades, and that's it. Good fucking job. Beep.
Really good. The guy number 8 was the winner of today, Stiva, and I'm sure Tom likes to start because there's not much to change about that routine, but yeah.
No, I've written down here, I don't think many people fully understand what and how much and difficult your moves are. What I mean by that is, I mean, I tried to count your 3-bottle sequence, how many moves are in there. Look, there's rolls, there's taps, there's bumps, there's backwards throws. There was a bit of a fumble there as well, actually, but
finger rolls.
The control that you have over your flair is incredible. You know, today you were just on fire, and at the moment, you know, you're definitely the greatest flair bartender on the planet. Just keep busting out those moves. The control on that roll, the 2-bottle tin move where you throw the bottle over for like a triple spin and land it into a roll is just ridiculous. I don't really know what to criticize on. You know, you've just won the competition, like destroyed it. You're setting the bar high, like you're setting the standard high for people these days. And I think that's scary for some of the new people coming into flair. And, you know, you're becoming this, well, you already are this role model to the new generation. So just be careful with that. That's quite a strong power to have. And I think encourage the new generation, use your position to help and push the new generation. not everyone can be and have the technical ability as what you've got. So you need to make sure that people are aware of that, because we want more people into Flair, and I think you can really help push that. So use that to try and get more people and help others. And I saw you made a YouTube video teaching Flair. Keep doing that. Keep helping. Keep pushing. Keep rocking it, man. Because I think you've still got a few. Well, you definitely got a few more years in you, destroying the stage.
And tell Akim to start competing again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what more there's to say? The man is impossible to beat on a day like this.
I think
at
now
the moment.
now he is in the perfect shape.
Yes.
Because I think I speak for everyone. We saw an Alexander Stefanov being on stage really nervous, under pressure, and
Arrogant.
Yeah. We saw an Alexander Stefanov being on stage like, who cares what happens? You know, I'm gonna throw and maybe something comes out. So like really, how you say it? Like I don't care mentality.
Yeah. And many times he didn't care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think today we saw the perfect shape of a Flair bartender, confident, smiling, busting out big ass moves, nailing almost all his signature moves, and 3 drops. Even if we don't count it, but 3 drops in 7 minutes on this level,
on
this speed.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Italian, would say tanto di capello. Yeah, so
Take my hat off to you.
Finnish will say voi vittu saatana.
Yeah.
Which means
I don't want to say what it means.
a monkey has fingers.
Yeah, but and and there was about, I will say, 10 to 12 minutes of Flair in 7 minutes.
Exactly.
It was
And
unbelievable.
if you guys realized, he was done almost 15 seconds before the time.
Yeah.
With garnish and everything, so
No more cucumber.
he improved again.
You could say lesson learned.
Yeah.
but there's not much to learn. Joe.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Just keep up that work, and you're a role model, or has been a very long time. But remember to keep doing what you are doing, and support the others, and make the new guys.
Exactly.
Try to catch you at some day.
Show them how beautiful it is.
It might not be very soon, but someday. Awesome routine. Yeah. Awesome routine.
M to the P.
Marek.
M to the P.
Manu, what did you think about Marek today? Not much.
No, I mean, he missed out really a lot of his signature moves, which probably cost him a few points. Yeah, so but it was always fun to watch. Be honest, I enjoyed more the qualification than the final. Yeah, even Marek is always good for big moves and so on. But today he missed out a lot of signature moves, especially the snatch behind his back. He tried 2 times the pour he has, like we see now, the 3 bottles. Then of course his signature moves to catch all 3 together. He was fumbling or cheating a little bit today. He played it nice, yeah. That is Marek.
Actually, it looks good on a video. You
Exactly, yeah, exactly. I mean, he nailed the 4 bottles, but unfortunately, but because he also had just 4 drops. Again, we are not counting them anymore, but still.
He had just 4.
Just 4, yeah.
I counted 6, but
you counted 6?
Yeah, but let's not fight on that.
No, we don't fight. I don't fight with you. You're too big for me. Yeah, but also 6 drops is not so much. But I think today the major problem for him was to not landing so many of his signature moves. Yeah.
Marek's been in the top 3 in such a long time, but it's begin. He's like a victim of his own greatness. Every time you see Marek, even qualification final, you expect that perfect Flair bartending alien, which nails everything and entertains and performs. And if it's not that, you're kind of a little bit disappointed that because you know that on a good day he's the best of the world, what he does. But on the other hand,
Can you say the sentence one more time?
he's the victim of his own greatness.
Marek, that should be the title of your biography. Yeah.
But you guys know what I mean. Because every time you see or hear Marek somewhere, you expect that,
Yeah.
boom, everything just goes. And, he's also a comedian, very good entertainer, performer.
Yeah.
And, there's nothing I think us here can say that you should do differently or more, or, your bar work is great, your drinks are always good, you're very classy, and, you always, even on a bad day, today wasn't a bad day, but even on a bad day, you're very polite and, a superhuman being to follow.
Yeah.
For
Exactly.
me. I respect,
Legend.
I respect Marek a lot.
Legend.
Marek was one of the guys when I was competing, sorry to just go down memory lane, when I used to think quite highly of myself, should I say, when I was competing. And used to think, I was, and dare I say, unbeatable if I landed my stuff. But when Marek came along, he was the first person where I got scared of somebody. I was like, shit, when he lands his stuff, I'm in the weeds. I thought I could beat all the others. But he was one. But today, Marek, we didn't see the Marek fire, the fire burning inside, Too many fumbles and hands and drops here and there. But I think that your crowd interaction is great. Your show is great. One thing I would say is you can do less objects, focus on your show so much more, and still get the position you got today, if not higher. I think, how well you put together a show, the drink and everything else. Difficulty was only 50 points. The other two was originality and choreography was 70, and you can score high on those really well, really easily, and in relevance. So, you could have taken out some of your difficulty, still scored high in difficulty, and I think you would have scored more points. I would say perhaps at the moment you're trying too hard to make sure that you're there. You don't have to try that hard. You just have to be yourself and enjoy yourself on stage. Just waving some people goodbye. But today I still really enjoyed it. I just wanted to see that Marek fire that you normally have in qualification rounds a lot, and you did today. But still a great performance, as the other guys said. On a bad day, which wasn't a bad day, but on not your best day, you still score high and are fantastic. Good can work.
Okay, last on stage is the local wonder boy, Dennis. Has been quite many years now. First, last or second last on the final. Always, crowd favorite, of course, hometown. And always a candidate to win a competition. It's the same, for me, with tennis, it's the same than with Stiva, that there's so much happening that I'm sure many people don't even realize how much different stuff is flying or going or rolling or bumping anywhere. And of course, his ground entertaining or performing is being better and better every year. He's won here, he's won many comps he enters, and he's always top 3 guy with that level of difficulty and amount of things he does on stage and unbelievable energy, getting better every day and every comp. And we have to remember that Dennis is also a young guy still. He's been doing very well for many years now, but he's still a young guy, and he has many years on that position. But and he's I think for me, for the next 5 years, he's the guy to beat with Stiva.
Sure. I'll jump in next, shall I?
Go for it.
Things with Dennis, as Timper said, you do so many moves, there's so much difficulty and things going on there. I think like this one, I don't think people really understood what was happening. I think it's even hard for the judges sometimes. I love the fact that you picked up the bottles off the bar in a different way every time, or the tins. Maybe not every time, but a lot of the times you're picking stuff off the bar differently. I love the details with, the T-shirt and the other stuff that you were doing. I'd love to see those ideas progressed. This move as well is insane. you put these new ideas, these details into your flair, but I'd love to see a progression on those, not just big moves. You know, you've got big moves, you can do big moves. I'd love to see those details of that t-shirt move that you did, or picking stuff off the bar and things like that. You know, that's the stuff which, as a judge, and as you know, something new coming, like, oh, what's this? And then you just kind of use it as a linking move. It's still very cool, but I want to see it turn into a super deluxe, you know, Dennis signature move. Couple other things I put on here. I said to Timper when you started your Invaders Must Die, you're going to beat Marek with his own tune. He I think, sort of made Marek, got Marek from here to here, was using that song, but you used it fantastically well. And I love the fact that you use different types of music. You use rock music, and you go with it very, very well. It really suits you. And there's something else I wrote here. It says, it never feels like you're going to drop it. You're the only person I watch, and I'm like, when you drop it, I'm like, oh, he dropped it. It's like a surprise, you know? It's like you never see, because there's so much going on, so many objects, you know, it never feels like you're going to drop it. And I think you can, you know, the amount of hours you put into practice, it's testament to that. Criticisms, I don't have much. I think, you know, you're doing a great job. Same with Stiva, you're going down the road, and there's nothing I can say really, which, other than I said about the details of those little ideas on the moves. Keep doing what you're doing. I'd love to see, and this can be for everybody, any competitor, I'd love to see somebody come out there and do something completely different that no one has ever seen before. Really put yourself out there to show something, not just moves, but the way the moves are being shown, the presentation, the stage, or whatever it may be, to show something completely new and different, because I think you'll be rewarded for it.
Indeed.
But amazing routine. Good work.
Yeah. But I mean, I have nothing more to add. Just that I can only make compliments to Dennis, because it was not easy today. Of course, he's also soaking in the feeling of the home crowd, but on the other side, I also think there is a lot of pressure when the boy comes home. And like Timpa said, the amount of moves Dennis putting out in his working flair, there are people not putting out the same amount of moves in a 4-minute qualification round yet. And it's just a working flair. So for those who haven't seen it, check out how Denis Trifonov's day is. Yeah, so you can recognize how hard work is behind to be on a certain level and to be under control of the situation. Yeah, maybe I think Dennis has the opportunity or the potential to do it, to maybe turn around the whole flair world, you know? So like that, we see always the same progression, like napkins and glasses and ice up the tin and stuff like this. And I think Dennis is one of those where I consider personally he could improve the whole procedure of the routine, because he's already improving a lot by using his belt, tins upside down, and instead of snatching, they falling in, and so he already did a lot of changes out of what we know since quite a long time, and so I think
and he's not scared to do so as
exactly, and he makes it looking well. So like also his 3 and 4 bottles, this is different with in between the fingers, the misdirection in between the fingers behind during 3 bottles or in the air and stuff like this. This is cool, and so I think we all love to see more of that, and keep going. There is plenty of time for you. Yeah.
Yeah, and it basically and
I think we hit this 10 minutes, the planned 10 minutes, really well, right?
very fast. So, but I think it's time to say thank you.
Timpa,
yeah, no,
girls,
it's time to say thank you to
Thank you. Final word.
Ooh.
One second before you can have the final word, but at home, please, can you just give a small round of applause for Timpa for 10 years of flair at Flair Mania. It's a little golf clap for you there, Timpa. Congratulations. And final word is going to...
Yeah, for the audience and competitors who are ever is watching this, remember to share the photos. Please spread the word for Flair Mania. This is an unbelievable competition, and thank you for all the sponsors who has been with us for many years, and of course the local organization, Latvian Bartender Federation, local guys, Ans is hosting, Right is helping everything on, and of course the two main guys. Ivars come here now. Ivars and Martins who make this happen, and you know things run like clockwork. And I've been privileged to see this grow since the beginning, 10 years now. And for other guys, new guys, old guys, remember that I'm not going anywhere. I'm just stepping down a little bit, but I'm not going away. So, but yeah, it's been
11.
I've been honored to share this seat and you know be here for the first 10 years. And I know nobody will ever break that. So really happy, and you know I hope to see you somewhere pretty soon, I think. But yeah, thanks for all the guys, and you're my family. Keep up.
Thank you.
I hope Flair Mania lives forever.
Yeah, please bother this guy to go on and on and on and on and on.
Thank you very
you.
much, guys and girls.
Thank you.
All the best. Ciao.
See you.